Hey, today we're going to go over z-index, how to find it, and how to adjust it in AMP. That's when you have things that are on top of each other or need to be adjusted, maybe like a slide out card or something like that. So let's go look at an example right now in AMP. So we've got this campaign here. This is Cornbread Hemp, and they've got a beautiful looking campaign here. It's got the preferences, but we have a reminder bar over here. This also has a dynamic discount code on it, which is done through Shopify. And then here on the top level container, you always want to be looking at your layers panel and your top level container. This is the element that we're wanting to adjust. Spoiler, we're going to come in here and adjust the z-index, which is a number, and it's sort of like determines the height. So if you have things that are on top of each other on the site, that's how z-index works. So let's go look at a real life example. So cornbreadhemp.com, I've converted, I've got my reminder bar, but when I hit the slide out cart, it's over top of the cart. And that's something that we just don't want to see. Also, if there's like a checkout button, even worse. You can always close these out if you keep the X on it. That's something you can adjust as well. Here's the element. If you want to take it out, you could hit backspace. And what I've done actually, let me just point out here. Well, let's go to the campaign. And so we're here. I'm going to right click on the page and inspect. If you haven't used DevTools before, then this might look a little foreign, but as soon as you inspect, you're going to get this side panel over here. If it looks different, make sure you're in the elements. There's a bunch of different stuff up here, but go to the elements. I was in a device type preview, which is a whole nother subject where you can sort of emulate a device type. So I'm here and I have now the ability to kind of see what content's on the page. I can click this icon here, which allows me to hover over different things on the page to start to see their style. And then I can click, and this is the thing that I want to kind of try to figure out what the z-index is. And now I got lucky. It came up right away. There's z-index of 26, but I kind of want to look through the tree here and see, okay, what is actually going on? And maybe we'll do that one more time and try to see this. Does this have a z-index? What is that inside of? I see cart drawer. Now I also see 99 as the z-index. I'm kind of just going and seeing what we have here. So I think cart drawer is probably the thing. I can also go to computed if I don't see it in the styles. Styles is listing out the different classes that are in use, but computed, if you're in Chrome, actually shows you all of the stuff. So you could actually just even go into compute and start clicking on different things and say, okay, z-index here is 26. Let's see the z-index of this thing. We're at, well, I'm going to go follow the tree. If I don't see z-index, maybe I need to go up a level in the DOM here. So z-index 99, that works. Maybe we go and try something like 100 and then let's hot save it. So when I mean hot save, we've got an existing campaign running. If I go make changes to this campaign, that would publish a new version, but this has been running for a few days now and I don't want to reset the test. What I can do is go into the campaign and then go to the element I want to change. And as I start making a change, plug that in as 100. AMP's going to say, wait a minute, you're about to make a change. I can launch a new draft, which would be launching a new split test, but let's go and make a quick edit. And so when I do a quick edit, this is a dangerous feature in that as soon as I push this button, it's going live. It's not going to auto save the way it usually would when you're editing a draft. So you can kind of make your changes and push it. This is helpful in a scenario like this where we just want to push something. I'm confident 100 is going to adjust this. We could go test it manually through Chrome, and I can show you how to do that. But just to finish that thought there on the hot edit, if I go and hit save, this is pushing that change live right away. Let me just go back and confirm that we have everything updated. I have this second chance element. Let's go ahead and adjust. You'll see that z-index is not here because I'm not on a top level element. We'll go to the top level element. We'll adjust this to 100 and we're set. Let's check the other one. I'm noticing here I'm selected on this one. It's a second chance container. When I go up, I see second chance container. It's a style, which I can tell from that green tint icon. I can also tell it's linked up here. I can always detach that style, but styles are helpful in that as I make changes to this one, it's making changes to this one. And then I have this. So I've adjusted my z-index to 100. Let's go ahead and push that live. That will fix this issue right away. But also if you wanted to experiment, we could say, okay, let's go back in and we'll get that amped element. Now I'd want to, of course, go find my z-index, and I see it right here, pretty high. So what we can do is, if it's not already an element.style, we can edit it here. Let's just go ahead and edit it, set it to 100, and there we go. So it's on top of that gradient, or that kind of gray overlay, but it's below the cart. So I think that looks great. And let's just confirm. It looks like it actually is below that gray overlay. So that's good. We're set here and we can test it again. That CSS will remain as I'm on the page. We could also preview this. So now that we've saved it, we could hit preview it live on the site. We pushed a hot save. So now we're here. We can get the campaign. You'll notice in the URL, it has that, which tells AMP to run that specific variation. We can go ahead here and test. One thing while I'm doing this to think through is if you're testing something like Klaviyo, Klaviyo is on the site here. There's no way to really get around that. If I've converted before and I'm not in incognito, if you're trying to test Klaviyo, you may want to just copy this preview link, open it in a brand new incognito, run it that way that Klaviyo doesn't know who you are. But here we are, or whatever service you're using, of course. Here we are with this one. So continue. Here we are. There's my code. Great. I can say back to site. And then we've got our bar at the bottom here. And there's our slide out cart. We've adjusted it to 100 and we're all set. So that is adjusting the z-index. Remember, z-index can be set on any top level element in AMPed. And how to find that z-index, you want to inspect the site and then look for it maybe under compute. One thing I'm not changing here, just wanted to point out, is I'm not changing the z-index for my main overlay container. And the reason I'm doing that is because let's say your site maybe has this top bar and some other things. If I adjust that z-index for the actual pop-up below this, you could get some really weird results. And even things like if you have this X here, that menu might actually cover that X if we're using a full screen style. So word of caution on being careful with the z-index. It's a very powerful feature, but the power is all yours. All right, can't wait to see what you create.